Hi folks, this is Josh DeVries. First video for the INF 1060 spreadsheet course. Lesson 1, Gleamin budget from this textbook, starting out on page EX7. So the first step you always have to do is open up the appropriate file. I have the tab at the bottom. You might have to actually go to their respective Microsoft Excel to open it. Once you get it open, blank workbook, highlight A1. A is the column, so that's up and down or vertical, and row is left to right, horizontal. So A1, we type in personal budget worksheet, and then A2, we type in monthly expenses, and then A3, we type in income. What we're doing from pages EX7 to 9 is setting up the row column titles, and then we are going to EX10 and 11, we're filling in the rest of the column. So from B3, C3, D3, E3, etc., we are doing the monthly. February, tab, March, tab, April, tab, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, and then we're going to go all the way down to A8, and we're going to do expenses. And you're going to do the same months again. You can type them, hitting tab every time, or you can Control C and Control V, so cut and paste, and then put the same information exactly there where you need them. Under income, so A4, you're going to type wages, and then you're going to type dividends, and then you're going to type total. And under expenses, you're going to have things like rent, and then hit the down arrow, food, tuition, books, entertainment, car payment, gas, miscellaneous, total, and you're going to skip down to 19, and you're going to have net. So what we've done here is we've quickly set up the bare bones of the Excel sheet from page EX11, and on page EX12 we are going to enter the numbers across the board. Now you're going to notice there's a chart on page EX12. It's called table 1-1. It's green heading with kind of variation of brown colors. That is essentially the numbers you're setting in. So for example, wages, he always makes $1,029 for every month. So you can go ahead, you can cut and paste that right across the board. So again, I'm pushing Control C, Control V, and then Control V, Control V for every month. You're going to notice in the dividends, he does $4,000.75 twice a year, once in January and once in September. Now you notice you're not filling in the totals. We're going to use Excel's calculatory functions to fill in the total sections a little later in today's lesson. You'll notice that the rent, like most of our rent or accommodation payments, is always the same every month. So the same thing, Control C and then Control V under each month. It's always the same. His food budget, he budgets $300 per month on food. So you can do that cut and paste action right there. Now tuition is going to be a little different. You got $1,500, you cut and paste that. You got 300, you cut and paste that. 1,500, I'm sorry. And then you're going to bring that over and write in August again. He pays another 1,500. Every other month is 0. He does not pay tuition. Books, same time as tuition. It's $500 twice a year. Every other month he does not buy books. Entertainment, he budgets $100 a month. So again, we can set up the cut and paste, set the whole chart up. Your car payment is $154.79 per month. His gas, he estimates at $100 a month. But you got to be careful on this one. For the months in the summer, so it's May, June, and July, he's actually $150. And then he goes back to $100 a month. Looks like when he goes back to school. Miscellaneous is also set at $100 a month all year round. Again, we're skipping the total section. We then have to come up here, so we're at the top of page EX13. We're going to type total. We're going to add up this section. So what we have is just checking this out. We do total for here and total here at N8. That's page EX13. We have to do the sum of a column of numbers. So what's going to happen is we click the bottom where we want things loaded, and we just click sum in the top here. It says auto sum. You'll notice it does it automatically, and then you just hit enter, and it adds them together. So you go ahead and you do this step by step. You have to and we're just going to sum the sections that need to be added together. So we can just take the 0.29. You don't have to go through the sections here. Because there's nothing to be adding. It doesn't get dividends each month. So that is the total that we're looking at. Now at the bottom here, you're going to slide up and do the same thing. You're going to add up these functions. If you highlight it all and you hit auto sum, it will do it for you. Just to kind of speed things up a bit, if you will. So all I did is I left clicked and I highlighted what I wanted added instead of doing each column by itself. And I click the auto sum. Now, that takes us to the end of page EX17. We've already got the totals at the top of page EX18 as well. And now we're going to go back to right here, the plus sign with N4 section, and we're going to highlight it just like this. And we are going to auto sum. And you'll notice that although these are blank, it still counts as a 0. So I'm just going to go back and fill that in, just so that it looks exactly the same as it should on your screen. You'll notice all the totals should look the same. We're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to highlight the totals and hit auto sum. And that brings us to the bottom of page EX20. As long as the numbers are the same, so far so good. Now we're going to get into a little bit of the point and clicking aspect that makes Excel so interesting. We are going to type in, enter, B6 minus B17, enter. You're going to notice it's adding it for you. So again, we're going to do this, equals C6 minus C17, enter. And as we go along, and we're going to select B19. You can do it step by step, but there's a faster way to do it by the textbook says. On page EX21, right in the middle there, it says select cell B19. Drag the fill handle to select the destination area range. So we're going to go C19 to N19. Okay? Lift your finger or release the mouse button to copy the symbol of formula function. Or we can just do it this way. It's a little bit, just got to make sure you do in the right order. So you're doing equals K6 minus K17 for that one as an example. This one you're doing equal sign L6 minus L17. And you're doing, in this case, you're doing M6 minus M17. And then you're doing N6 minus N17. That gives us all the answers that we're looking to have there. So we should have 1986, 82 at the bottom there. And that brings us to the first part of the lesson, getting all the information in, using some formulas, sections, and whatnot. At the bottom of, or I guess on page EX23, you're going to see what we're creating. We're going to now go from just the bare bones sheet that you see on the screen to formatting it, making it look a little nicer. Now, we are going to call that a lesson. This is part 1. And please click the next link in Moodle to start your lesson 2 on this one, how to format this document. Before I stop this, I'm just going to save it. Instead of the Bob Gleamin budget. Save.